Hey everybody, just wanted to share this video with you to all my clients of the first, let's just say 6 weeks of somebody who's never going to get results of working with me. And I know this sounds harsh. Everything sounds harsh. First 6 weeks of somebody who will never ever see results goes like this. They sign up and their motivation is always the highest in the beginning. I tell them exactly what to do and they do it. So they get on a slight caloric deficit. They find the first meals they want to start eating and they start feeling amazing because of the new ingredients. They start feeling that this is a whole new lifestyle change and they can really see themselves do it. They keep doing it for 1 or 2 or 3 weeks. And then the number on the scale is not dropping as fast as they wanted it to. So after about 3 weeks, they haven't lost 96 pounds yet. So then they start saying, okay, I'm not losing weight. I'm not losing weight, even though they already are losing a pound a week. A pound a week is like perfect. But pound a week is never straight. It's always up and down. You gain 2 pounds, lose 3 pounds, then you gain 0.4 pounds, you lose 0.1 pound, but then you gain and lose it again. That's always how it goes. They're so fixated on the scale, even though they're feeling great and they're really motivated, the number on the scale is not going down. They ask me, can we lower my calories a little bit? But that's when I usually say, no, when you lower your calories too much, you'll stick to it maybe Monday through Friday, maybe Monday through Saturday or whatever. And then one day out of the week, you are going to give up, give in, but you're not even going to log that cheat food that you gave into your cravings on because that's just too embarrassing often. That's not a good idea. However, in week 4, when the weight loss is still very slow, this client will mention again that she's not losing weight, right? So then I say, yeah, but you can't cut the calories too much. You got to stay on the deficit, And also I'll ask her, how long have you been overweight? 3 years. So, 3 years overweight. You've only been on it for 4 weeks. Now the 5th week, she mentions it again. 6th week, she mentions it again. This is where I wouldn't do this, but a weak trainer, a weak coach would tell you then, okay, let's cut calories more. So basically the trainer will find exactly what she wants. All of a sudden you're on 1,200 calories, whatever. You're going to stick to it for the first couple of days, but it's going to be very hard to stick to it for 7 days in a row. Maybe you can, but after a certain amount of days, you are going to give in because you are the one that pushed so hard for lowering the calories. When you have that cheat meal, you're not going to post it because you don't want to admit to your own defeat. Now you're going to be on, let's say 1,200 calories or whatever, and you're going to be on like an 800 calorie deficit, which is never sustainable. You're going to make up for it in one meal on a Saturday afternoon or Thursday morning. All you have to do is give up one really bad meal and then you're back at maintenance level. And then you're not losing weight again. And then it's like, yeah, trainer/coach doesn't know what's going on. The client knows what's going on, but now you got to go back to that slight caloric deficit, but a lot of times pride gets involved and then it's like, well, nothing's working for me. Then you lose all hope in a natural solution. But the moral of the story is that the natural solution is slow and sometimes you don't lose weight. 2 is that if you don't think you're going to lose weight, you will never lose weight. If you don't believe in yourself, you never, ever will. You can either have a positive emotion or a negative emotion. You can either have fear, doubt, I'm not going to do it, or you can have faith and you can trust that you're actually going to go through. If you have faith, if you have positive emotions, then you're going to be doing more. You're not going to be a wuss who doesn't get her 10,000 steps in because that's an absolute requirement. If you're not there yet, that's fine. If you're new, yeah, okay, you're coming from 4,000 steps a day. I don't expect you to be at 10,000 steps right away, but this is how it works. The world is full. I would say 90% is a total wuss. They will never lose weight. 90% of overweight people will never will because you get in your own way and you let your automatic negative thoughts take over. Stick with the script. It's slow progress. Progress over perfection. It's the most important thing I can tell you right now. Progress over perfection. 1 pound a week is ultimately ideal. 50 pounds in a year. If you lose 50 pounds, you're a whole different person. But you have to become a different person in order to lose 50 pounds, if that makes sense. So it's like you have to become a new person, lose 50 pounds, and then you're going to look like a whole new person. But you were a whole new person from the get-go. Let me know if this makes sense. And if you're wondering, what is this pink thing right behind me right there? What is that? Is that pink? Yeah, that's pink. I slept in my office because I had friends over from California. They were visiting me here in Arkansas. And that's also why we didn't have a live Zoom call last night because I had my friends over and we were driving around Lake Washita. Lake Washita, it takes almost 3 hours to drive around that lake.